I'm called Nachijova Irene from ISAF, Uganda. ISAF is Eastern and Southern Africa Small Scale Farmers Forum, established in 2002 at the World Forum in Johannesburg, South Africa. It was in that summit where farmers looked at themselves as marginalized, because in that summit there were so many corporate bodies, but farmers who went there in the summit looked at themselves that they were not talked about, even their issues were not talked about. So they joined each other from South Africa, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, Burundi, and South Sudan to mobilize themselves to talk on behalf of farmers. Also for farmers, to train farmers to speak for themselves. So ISAF in Uganda, we are a body, an umbrella of farmers or farmer associations in 30 districts of Uganda. ISAF, we've gone far in mobilizing farmers to speak for themselves. For example, in the budget, there is a Malabo Declaration which sat in Zanzibar and also in Maputo, where African governments signed the Malabo Declaration, which says that African heads of government should increase the agriculture budget to 10% in each country. But up to now, most of the countries have not yet increased or reached even 5% of the budget to agriculture. So in Uganda, in ISAF, we have mobilized farmers to talk about the issue of increasing the agriculture budget so as to get the inputs we need and so that the knowledge. For example, in extension services, in irrigation services, on land rights, because women in Uganda, we don't have ownership of land. We go on producing crops on people's land, yet we don't own land. We produce and men sell, so we don't have control over what we do. So we have written a petition as farmers in Uganda along those issues, and we are petitioning the government to increase the budget at least to 6%, because we don't think they will reach 10%, because it is now 10 years plus, they have not even reached 5%. So in Uganda, as ISAF, we have mobilized masses of farmers, and wrote a petition to the government to increase the allocation to agriculture budget. And we are looking for 1 million signatures. We are moving through all the villages for people to sign on that petition, so that we hand it over to the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries, because we got a note that the heads of government of Africa, they are going to sit in Uganda this November. So we are looking forward to handing over the petition so that the minister reads it. And we have also gone ahead to engage the other offices who are concerned. For example, the Prime Minister's office, the Financing office, the Agriculture Sector office, and all the concerned people like Member of Parliaments. We have gone to their offices to read to them the petition. Others have signed, others not. But the Minister of Agriculture went ahead to sign on our petition because he really read it, and so it had a point. So we have gone far to write, to look for million signatures, and we are soon handing over the petition to the minister.
Okay. During her presentation, Marsha was talking about the green economy, that some years ago they said that Africa doesn't have enough food to feed itself. So you, as a small farmer, how do you receive this message?
This message, it is not really it is halfway through, because some people really go out without food. That's why on my t-shirt I had written during the World Food Day celebrations, because we always celebrate the World Food Day internationally. It is on 16th October. So we went to participate, but we said, is the zero hunger free world by 2030, is it possible? Because even up to now, some people go without food the whole day, the whole 2 days without food. Because there is a report which I don't have it now, but it shows the number of people who go hungry, who go without food the whole day, 2 days. So we're asking a question: is that goal possible by 2030? So we are trying to fight it by mobilizing people to produce more food, to first keep for yourself, then you can sell to others who don't have. Because in ESAF we say food first, then fair trade. You first keep your food in the home, we have a local material where we keep our food. So you have to first keep your food, then you think that others don't have, and then you might call and give, or you sell. So we say food first, then fair trade. We have the right to food, to clean and fair food, to the right to indigenous seed. So we are also mobilizing farmers who have indigenous seeds, to go on multiplying the seeds, because we don't want to allow other seeds to come in. Because when this tendency of buying the seed this season, and then you buy next season, and then every season you buy, it will not work in Uganda, so and also in Africa. So if we tell farmers that if we keep our indigenous seeds, then we multiply, and also we give to others, or we sell to others. This tendency of the capitalism seed policy, it will not work, and we shall fight it until the end. So food, we are going on to mobilizing farmers to produce more food, mostly indigenous food, which will not be bought every season. You buy food, you buy seed.
Okay, thank you so much, Jolene. It was wonderful.